Hey, I'm Brittany. If you did not know, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. I am actually really nervous to make this video. This video is to raise awareness and it's to educate to the best of my abilities, not being a doctor, not being a medical professional. I feel like it's so important for me to share my story, even though it is so personal to me, because of just how crazy it is that 1 in 10 women have endometriosis, and it takes 8 to 12 years on average for someone to come to a correct diagnosis. With those statistics, there are some of you watching this right now that are struggling with these symptoms, that are feeling the way I felt, that are feeling crazy, that are feeling over dramatic, that it's just feels so misunderstood. So this video is going to be like as much detail as I can put in, really long, really personal, but I just feel like if it helps at least one person who is feeling as fucking crazy as I was, then it's so worth it. I had my surgery at Cedars on September 20th, 2018, so exactly 4 weeks ago now. The surgery to diagnose this is a laparoscopic surgery, so that means that it's minimally invasive. They go in 1 incision through the belly button and then 2 incisions, sometimes more, sometimes less, kind of right by where your hip bones are. At least that's where mine are. And he said, it's not uncommon to go in and find nothing. He said that it's, common for him to take out the appendix, even though mine looked healthy, just so if I go to the ER with pain in that area, they can roll out an appendicitis. And I was like, shit, yeah, paying all this money and you're putting me under and you find nothing. Even if you find something, just take it out. I can live without it, so take it out. Day of surgery, got to the hospital. I wore very loose clothing. Of course, I didn't eat anything all day. I didn't drink anything, which was a little bit hard because I had a late surgery. It wasn't till 4 p.m. And then I had about like a hour and a half to 2 hour wait in the pre-op, but honestly, that time went by so fast. I don't know if it was just I was so nervous, or they did do a bunch of things. They ran some tests and they put in my IV. They also, I met with the doctor, I met with the anesthesiologist in that time. It really did just kind of fly by. And then I got, rolled into the operating room, and it was a little weird to be awake going into the operating room. It felt very like Grey's Anatomy, but the anesthesiologist kind of injected me with this it's gonna sound weird, but this white creamy liquid. That sounds wrong, I'm sorry, but that's what it was. Into my IV, and I mean, that just makes you not care about anything, whatever he gave me. So I was a little loopy, but I still remember going in there, and then I got onto the table. He had me count back. The next thing I remember is just waking up in my recovery room. I mean, I saw some videos. I was, pretty out of it, but I still remember once they brought my husband in, I couldn't wait. Even though I was super high on drugs, I was like, what'd they find? No matter what, I told myself I was going to be happy with doing this surgery, whether they found nothing. I wasn't going to think it was a waste of time. I was so it sounds weird to be so excited and happy, but it really just made me feel like, you're not crazy, to find out that he did find something, that he did find what, looks like endometriosis. It was removed. It was sent to pathology. So it was about 3 to 4 spots. So I went home, and next day I was just so out of it. I can't get up. I just don't even know. The pain medication just is not helping, but these cramps are just fucking insane. I don't know what to do. And it's starting to bleed. I guess that's normal. I don't know. And I got here and the other side too. These underwear though, pretty bomb. I really, oh fuck. Ah, fuck. Oh. Alright guys, it's day 2, I guess, because yeah, I got the surgery day before last night. Spent yesterday in bed, and I just really thought this wasn't going to be as difficult as it is. Not that I regret it at all, but fuck, it really sucks. It hurts. I guess we'll show you. So I have an incision there. I have one here. So these are my incisions. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like rigid, like very stiff, very swollen, just tight. Like I feel like I got like a tummy tuck. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go take some pain medication. I couldn't even sleep the first night. I didn't sleep at all. I feel like I'm scaring you guys, but I just want to be honest with what's going on with me. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. So it's day 3 now, and I just have not had any sleep. I did not realize the recovery process was gonna be this intense. I guess I should have thought about it, how swollen everything was gonna be. I never heard anyone talk about that. Like my back is so swollen that I have these like indentations on my back and you can't even see them now. And like everything's just so rigid. Sorry, I don't mean to make this inappropriate, but I just want to be super real with you guys. Day 3 feels just as hard as day 2, feels just as hard as day 1. But I think after this hump, it should be getting better. Super firm and tense. I have this dried blood that I can't get off yet. I got a heating pad, I got cough drops, I got so much mess, so much medicine. And here's what everything looks like now. It's absolutely incredible how small the incisions are. So they're 5 millimeter, one right here, there's one right here. You can just see a little bit discoloration, but they're totally healed. And then one in my belly button. I don't know if it's because my belly button is like a little bit unusual, but I feel like the incision went to one side and they kind of sewed it to the side, so it kind of steers, but that's fine. That's okay. So I have endometriosis. So what is endometriosis? The definition online, it's a disorder in which tissue that normally lines the uterus grows outside of the uterus. So when you hear that, it's like, so what? What's that? Well, today I'm going to tell you my very personal journey and symptoms, and this is just my story. The thing about endometriosis is everyone's story who has this is going to be so different, and the irregularity of symptoms kind of just showcases how difficult and frustrating this thing is to diagnose. So my personal symptoms were pelvic pain, mostly in where I believe my ovaries are. I'm still the whole anatomy of it, but pretty much, yeah, where I pretty dang sure my exact location of my ovaries. A lot of lower back pain. These next 3 symptoms kind of go in line with one another because they would usually happen around the same time. So it was nausea, bloating, and this like feeling of fullness, which all kind of added up to this weight loss that I was not trying to achieve. Like I would wake up and I would feel like I just ate like a Thanksgiving dinner. That's what I would always say to my husband. And again, totally thought I was crazy. He probably thought I was crazy, but that was the only way I could describe it. Like I just ate Thanksgiving dinner. So whenever I would try to eat anything, I would get so nauseous because I'd be like, I feel like I just ate like way more than anyone ever should. And I would take like 2 bites of an apple and I would get so nauseous I would either throw up, and I wasn't having pain, it was just like a feeling of fullness. My other symptoms were fatigue and headaches. My other like really annoying symptom that I've been struggling with for like 10 years have been very reoccurrent UTIs. And I mean, I tried everything you could possibly do to not get them, and I still would. And I asked so many doctors. I went to so many emergency rooms. I saw so many different doctors, and everyone was like, some people just get them more than others. And then I come to find out that reoccurring UTIs is flipping a symptom of endometriosis. Now, other than like really long periods, I didn't have the most typical symptom of people with endometriosis, which is very painful periods, not normal cramps. I would say my cramps were definitely on the more severe side of normal, but they were never like super debilitating. I never threw up, I never passed out, and that's something you typically hear. And that was always something in the back of my head that I was like, I don't have endometriosis. I don't throw up or pass out. But I did get really bad pain during ovulation. So it was a little bit confusing to not have super severe period pain, but to have really severe pain during ovulation. And it was normally only for one day, and it was only like an hour and a half, but it was enough time, and it was so severe to the point when if someone saw me in that much pain, I mean, I couldn't have gotten to the hospital by myself, so someone would have to be with me to visually see how severe it was and to take me to the ER, which did happen, and always everything would come back normal, every blood test. It felt like a waste of time and money, and I always felt so crazy. Like, wow, I made this up in my head, or I'm such a baby. I'm crazy. How I came to my personal diagnosis, I decided to do a little bit of research. Actually, a lot. All I did was research, and I found Nancy's Nook, which is a Facebook group. I know that sounds like a weird place to get information, but it's actually the best resource I've found when trying to figure out if I have this, that I do have this, preparing for surgery. It's just a place for education. It's not like a social place. It's a private group. You have to apply to be in there. It's pretty easy to get accepted as long as you say, like, I'm not going to spam post. I'm here to learn. I got to find out here the difference between excision and ablation. My original doctor was going to do ablation, which is the main difference. Think of like a plant, like in the ground with roots. Ablation, you're burning the plant, but leaving the roots, right? So what's going to happen? The plant's going to grow back. Excision is like cutting the plant and then going to the next level and cutting out the roots until there's nothing left of the plant. What's going to happen? The plant's not going to grow back. There's no roots. So if you're someone who's going through this and you've had issues with your surgery failing and you had ablation, that could have been a big reason why. And to look for a specialist that actually only uses or mostly uses excision, and that's kind of like the gold standard for them, and they understand that, that's going to be a doctor you're going to want to go with. I just want to say that if you are watching this and you are going through something similar, if you're experiencing these symptoms or honestly any symptoms of anything that is pretty much an invisible illness, I just want to let you know that you know your body better than anyone else. I believe you. I believe what you're saying. You're not crazy, and that you will find an answer. It might just take, unfortunately, a little bit of time, but don't stop until you find one, because when you do, it's so worth it. And I think that is everything for this video. I hope that you learned something. I hope that it helped you. And if you haven't heard it today, I believe you. I love you. You are strong. You are powerful. These are just things we should say to each other more often. All right. Bye, guys.